it's Super Videos back at you for another video. This is going to be my episode predictions for 705, which is going to be called Go-Getters. So I'm going to be looking at the synopsis, the promo, and the sneak peeks and give my prediction on what I think is going to happen in this episode. So as always, let's start with the synopsis. Now, before I get to the synopsis, I just want to point something out for the title of this episode. So the title of this episode is Go-Getters, which is basically referring to the members of the Hilltop as well as the survivors at Alexandria basically getting stuff for the saviors, basically providing for the saviors. So that's referring to that. So let's get to the synopsis. The synopsis is very short. It reads, members of our group go to the Hilltop. And I did a mini prediction video before this on who I think is going to go to the Hilltop. And if you saw that, you know that I think that we're going to see Carl and Enid journey to the Hilltop. So that's probably the members they're talking about here. So that's it for the synopsis. Now let's get to the prediction. I think this episode is going to be broken down into two separate components. One component is going to be central and there's going to be a lot of focus on it, but we are also going to see some focus, not as much, but some focus on another component of the story as well. So this episode is definitely a Hilltop centric episode and we're going to see a lot of the Hilltop, but we are also going to visit Alexandria again. So it's not a total episode because we are seeing two different communities. Now I'm going to begin with Alexandria and then we'll talk about what I think is going to happen at the Hilltop a bit later. So for Alexandria, I think basically what we're going to see is we're going to see Rick go on a mission, as we saw in the sneak peek with Michonne and Carl talking. We know Rick is gone out on a mission. So I think we're going to see Rick go on a mission to get supplies. That's one part. Then we're going to see Michonne also go on a mission, but I don't think they're going to tell us where she's going. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening in this episode and they can't concentrate on all of the people in the episode. So we're going to get a bit of Rick, a bit of Michonne. We're going to see them go on missions. We're not going to know what mission Michonne is going on, but for Rick, we know he's probably going to go get supplies. Then we're going to see probably Carl seeing Enid leave or try to leave. And Enid is definitely going to the Hilltop because Maggie is there, because they're close. And based on what happened in the premiere, Enid knows that Maggie is going to need a lot of support, a lot of help. She wants to be with her, so she's going. Now, I think Carl is not going to go with her initially, but I think he's going to think it over once she leaves and he's going to go after. And if you look at the promo, you can see there are scenes with Carl driving a car and running over walkers, trying to get to Enid. So we're probably going to see Carl go after Enid at some point. We're going to see their journey to the Hilltop. I don't think we're going to get to see them reach the Hilltop, maybe by the end of the episode, but I don't think we'll get a lot of Carl at the Hilltop in this episode. He might get there in the last 10 minutes of the episode, but I don't think he'll be there halfway through the episode. I think most of this episode with Carl and Enid is going to be their journey to the Hilltop, rather than them being actually at the Hilltop. So now let's get to the other component, the Hilltop. We know Maggie and Sasha are going to the Hilltop because Maggie has to be checked out because she's sick. So for Maggie, I think we're going to see in this episode her healing, both emotionally and physically. And we're going to get to see a bit of her interaction with Jesus and them growing closer together. And I think we're not going to get to see a lot more from Maggie in this episode. I think this episode is going to be a down episode for Maggie. She's going to be healing and she's not going to be in the right state of mind to be thinking rationally. I think most of what we're going to see from Maggie is just healing and trying to overcome her emotions and what happened to her recently. And we're going to get to Sasha. So for Sasha, I think it's going to be revenge. The basic word I can think of for what Sasha is feeling is revenge. She's going to want to take revenge on the Saviors and on Negan. But I think she's going to think it over. She's going to be rational about it and she's going to plan. And I think we're going to see a lot of dialogue between Sasha and Jesus, just talking over what has happened about their past and about what they can do to get the communities together to avenge the deaths and to basically take control back from the Saviors. I think a lot of this episode, from Sasha's perspective, is going to be reflecting on what's happened and thinking about the future and how she can strike back. Then we have the part with the hilltop, and if we go back to the season 7 trailer, we can see that the hilltop is being attacked and it's on fire. There are walkers inside. So I think we're gonna see the hilltop being attacked by the saviors at some point in this episode. And the saviors are probably going to be using walkers as a strategy in the attack. But there's also another part of this attack, because we can see at some points in the promo and some in the trailer of season 7 where Simon, which is Stephen Hawk's character, and the saviors just coming into the hilltop. And there are scenes with Gregory talking to Simon and Simon manhandling him and trying to get him to a room so they can talk privately and things like that. So we're going to see a lot of tension between Simon and Gregory. But I think Gregory, being the character he is, being the coward he is, he's going to want to do anything he can to basically bend over for the saviors and to provide for them whatever he can. So he's going to try to make a deal with them and do whatever he can to stop them from killing him. Now, also, additionally, what we're going to see is some tension between Gregory and Sasha and Maggie. Because in Sasha and Maggie's minds, Gregory is responsible for what has happened because he didn't tell them enough information about the saviors. Now, Jesus as well, but I think Gregory, being the leader and being the creep and the coward that he is, will set off Sasha and Maggie. And I think we're going to see some of the things that happened in the comic book in this episode, with someone giving Gregory an ass whooping because of the things he's done. And I think it's going to be Sasha. Maybe Maggie, but the condition she's in, I think it's going to be Sasha who does that. That's basically all I think we're going to see in this episode. I don't think we're going to get more of Alexandria. I don't think we're going to get any of the kingdom or the sanctuary. So I think this is basically what we're going to get. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll be back for another video.